Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical, something beautiful. Come and take me higher, set my world on fire tonight, tonight. Show me everything I want and more. You take me right around the world. Now I'm feeling tonight, got me feeling so right.
This week on Top Billing, Isidingo's Tema Sebopedi salsas away fit with Latin Zumba classes. Love knows no borders in this French-Mauritian-Norwegian-South African wedding. SA hip-hop award-winning artist Gigi Lamayne was a published poet at high school. Fasten your seatbelts for the flight of your life with world Aerobatics champion Aude Lemordant. Designer Spero Villioti's academy gets African talent into fashion's big time. And to stand a chance of winning a matric dance stunner, spot the top hats. Jeannie D brings you the show from this West Coast escape of art and cooking dynamos Aude Olivier and Louis Jansen van Vuuren.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Top Billing. Now, Louis Jansen van Vuuren and Aude Olivier's French country manor is such a renowned home of cooking that they just released a book on the story of a house. Now, far less is known about this, their West Coast beach pad, but that's about to change.
Here in the Cape St. Martin Private Nature Reserve, Louis and Aude's house sits on a peninsula where they watch the sun rise and set over the Atlantic Ocean.
So the two of you are chasing the sun between France and the West Coast. How did you decide upon this spot?
We decided on the West Coast because we both like the bleakness and the sheer contrast with France. And we rented houses around the corner here, and we walked up to this spot. The moon came up over the ocean. It was positively magical. And he says to me, "Do you want this place?" So I said, "What do you mean? Of course I want it." And here we stand at exactly the same spot. 2 years later, the house is now complete.
And it's spectacular.
I think Leonard did a good job for us in interpreting exactly what we wanted within the constraints of what is allowed within this development, because it is quite restricting in a way, but we love it here.
Glass walls disappear into the outer walls, revealing French antiques in an otherwise modern interior. Louis XIV style chairs are placed next to contemporary Italian designs, and this great Aubusson tapestry.
This is incredible. Is it an original?
Absolutely, it's a piece that dates from the 17th century, and in this particular scene, it shows Aphrodite and her new husband, Ares, and of course Cupid's still in the background there, but being pulled by lions in a chariot filled with summer produce.
This is an amazing centerpiece, but I see you have a collection of eclectic art.
Yeah, I'd like to keep it interesting by juxtaposing French and old and new. I like collecting contemporary South African art. In the foyer, as you come in, you have that Aegean-like figure on a horse from Adrian Diedrich. The Rain Taster, which I think is a nice tongue-in-the-cheek piece by Frank van Rienen. And beautiful white embroidered piece by Sandra Hannekom.
Yeah, and of course a lot of it's also from auctions, which is one of my favorite pastimes in France. So apart from tapestries, furniture, crystal chandeliers, if it's a bargain, I buy it.
Is that where you got that chandelier from?
No, this one actually has quite an interesting story.
It comes from a demolished villa on the island of Zamalek in Cairo. And that so beautifully illuminates the contrast with a modern kitchen.
And I believe the kitchen is your domain, Aude.
Yeah, I find myself in the kitchen. I enjoy cooking. But we try to keep it quite simple and just nice open spaces that work practically and function well.
And Louis, where's your space in the house?
When Aude goes into full-on cooking mode, I have to slip away silently to my secret studio space upstairs.
The cantilevered staircase was cast on site and finished in the same white cement as the floors. Its free-floating design is an artistic introduction to Louis' workspace, where the sunlight is ideal for painting, and the view of Kaluunis Bay is a constant inspiration.
Okay, welcome to my space. This is where I create. At the moment, I'm busy with a series of portraits that actually are deconstructed fairy tales. As you know, I've written a couple of stories, and I therefore love narrative, and I try to actually use that in my painting as well.
What is it about the space that inspires you?
Do you know, Jade? It's basically the views that surround me. There are a couple of interlinking balconies, and wherever I turn, I see the magic of nature. From time to time, I just glance over the ocean. It's a magical space.
And Hardy, what is your favorite painting of Louis'?
There are two in this house. It's two is from a series of portraits that he did of a young girl that was a student at La Crozette about 2-3 years ago. But then, of course, he started painting these massive portraits, and there are two of them that he did of Christina. They're absolutely wonderful because she changes from this very serene person into this absolute virago where her hair almost actually does turn to snakes, and that's the way he depicted her.
Previously, Top Billing visited this gifted duo in their manor house, Chateau de la Cruzette in France. Guests from all over the world joined them here for theme holidays, and a book about it was long overdue.
So you've taken your artistic skills and your culinary skills and published a new book together.
Referring to stories, again, this time the book deals not only with recipes, but with stories. That is why it's aptly called The Story of a House. It deals with a family that lived there before us. For 200 years, we are basically the second owners of this magnificent building. And they are the most beguiling stories that creep out of the woodwork. It deals with different textures, different feelings, and of course, beautiful tastes. The old Countess was a formidable cook herself, and she has some serious family recipes kind of mingling through what we were doing. And then Hardy steps into her shoes and he becomes the culinary chef for La Crozette.
My role is always to try and interpret sometimes classical French dishes into something that becomes easy to make, and also for the South African palate very specifically.
The book is an epic tale of the rich history of the chateau and its 15-year restoration. Hardy and Louis have included almost 90 new recipes and share their easy shortcuts and tips. Much easier than the plans for their beach house with architect Leonard de KLERK.
How did the two of you decide on a design for the house?
And there were some taxing moments.
He had his specific ideas of what he wanted to do, and I had mine. We just come back from a wonderful holiday in Italy, and I just loved the architecture around Pompeii. But of course, Louis wanted 34 bedrooms, I wanted one. We have enough bedrooms at the house in France, so...
Imagine an erupting volcano on the West Coast. I mean, it didn't make sense. And at a point, after confusing Leonard so much with whatever we wanted to do, he said, boys, look, I'm going to go now, and once you two get it straight, phone me.
Well, I think it started happening when Louis took a back seat because, you know, too many cooks spoil the broth, so to speak. And I took over and then started working with Leonard. So I kind of left it up to him in the beginning, and then I intervened and adapted what he proposed to our needs.
And Leonard, what was it like working with the restrictions of a nature reserve and Hardy in the one ear and Louis in the other ear?
Yeah, with Louis and Hardy on one side, they've almost bought the plot next door and designed another house there for both their needs. I think the biggest challenge is to design something on this properties in Cape St. Martin is the size of the plot at first, because that's only 400 square meters. And then you've got a limitation on the 225 square meter footprint of the house. But the nice thing about this property is it's north facing, so you can actually design a house with the living areas and patio areas straight into your northern view.
Well, gentlemen, it sounds like this house has a story of its own.
We love it here.
Designed with only one guest room. If you crack an invite here, you are the bee's knees.
A French country manor or West Coast escape. It's tough choosing between the two, but I think they've made the right decision. They'll live in both.
Next up, Tema Sebopedi walks a long road to Isidingo's success. And you could win a matric dance dress from Spero Villioti.
You've This month is about formidable young people making their way, whatever the odds. And actress Tema Sebopedi has been roundly praised for her portrayal of a young woman overcoming breast cancer. Happily off-screen, she's the picture of health, and she credits Zumba classes as a big part of that.
If Tema had 10 rand for every time casting directors had told her she was too short, too pretty, or too young for a part, she'd be rich. She persevered, and this is the result.
Tema, hair, makeup, and now lines. This is where it starts.
This is my dream. It's the only thing I know how to do with my eyes shut, looking backwards. So I went from after completing a 4-year degree in a Bachelor of Arts honors, and auditioned like crazy. I must have done over 200 auditions in 1 year until I stopped counting, because it just became so daunting to just do it over and over again. But 6 years later, I landed this break at Isidingo.
Her character, Lerato, is currently grappling with health issues.
Welcome to Dr. Beth's offices.
Rooms,
that is.
This is your office for the day.
This is the workspace for the day, and we all know what Lerato's been through with Dr. Beth.
We all know. What's on the agenda for today's scene?
It's a checkup. And any more than that, we'll be revealing the story, but I wonder, is it cancer or is it a baby?
Oh, well, that's for you to find out and for us to keep amongst ourselves, right?
Yes.
Where do you find the inspiration for your character?
So I grew up in Rustenburg, and I was bullied growing up. And the girls who were about bullying me were very dramatic and very street smart, and that's where I draw my character from.
Of all the things that you could have done, you chose acting. Why?
I am a natural-born entertainer. I love dancing, I love entertaining people, I like making people happy. So being on a platform where I can perform and show different characters and portray life through myself, through this vessel I have, this beautiful body of mine, is just fun. It's amazing, it's artistic, and that's why it's so easy.
As an actor, you know you've got to be able to improvise, right? So today, I'm gonna put that to the test. I'm playing Dr. Beth. You ready?
Are you Dr. Beth?
I'm Dr. Beth.
Hi, doctor, I'm here to see you.
Lerato, the results don't look good. Wow, did you see that? Wow, that was good. Maybe not so good from my part. Maybe I should stick to this for now, but I am an actor, I promise. What are the challenges you faced with your fans in terms of the kind of character that you play?
Is that Lerato's constantly bubbly and happy and all about light and bouncy. And I'm actually quite a reserved person. I can be quite quiet and introverted, and that becomes tricky because, you know, I meet my fans in the streets and they expect this bouncy person, and I'm like, I'm not feeling that bouncy today, and that can be tricky to balance, but I mean, I'm just me.
Tema's also a licensed instructor in Zumba, a dance fitness program created by Colombian choreographer Alberto Perez.
So you got me out here at the gym. What have you got in store?
We're gonna do a fun Zumba class today, and you're gonna sweat, hey Chris? Because Zumba is the most fun way, dancing way, to lose calories. I love dancing, so this is how I keep it up.
Speaking about calories and dancing, I know that diet goes hand in hand with fitness.
Yeah. You come here, you do all this work, you sweat, you burn calories, and get stronger. Of course, you've got to eat right, so it takes 6 meals a day. It's a lot of prepping, a lot of work, but I mean, you eat more, you put out more, it's a balance, and you look great. Check this out.
Yeah, you are looking good, I must say, and you gotta show me what it is that your signature move is in Zumba. Show me your signature.
Okay, well, it's a Latin rhythm dance inspired way of losing weight. Okay. So it's all about bending your knees, pushing your booty a bit back, and roll it. That's it. You see, hips don't lie. Hips don't lie. Not
that's
even
a little
yours.
too sexy for my liking. Maybe we should head on inside.
Yeah.
Get the class going.
Yes.
15 million people take Zumba classes in 180 countries. So if Tema heads for the US, she'd always have this to pay the bills until her big acting break.
Wow, that was pretty cool, I must say.
Good.
You haven't even broken a sweat.
I'm the instructor.
Okay, that's fine. But you can see I enjoyed myself. Full body workout. Dancing, as I know, is a full body workout.
Yes, absolutely.
What did we go through?
Okay, we went through some reggaeton, some cumbia, some salsa, and did you love it?
I loved it. I
Great.
enjoyed every minute of it.
I'm so glad. Are you going to come again?
Of course I'm gonna come again. Okay, so where to from here for Tema, the multi-talented actress?
Well, from here, it's continuing with a course that I'm doing, a program called the Hollywood Inside Edge with Shani Pride, and off to Hollywood it is.
Any Oscars in the future?
Bring it on.
She's also a Sunday school teacher and an SPCA volunteer. What an achiever!
Tema is so compelling as Lorato, you'd think she could play any role. As for our next guest, with a name like Spero Villioti, you're either going to be a racing driver or design fabulous clothes. Thankfully for all lovers of style, Spero chose fashion.
Zim-born Spero Villioti's couture collection is elegant and always a must-see at Fashion Week. His dynamic wife, Vanessa, runs the business side of their companies, allowing him to focus on his role as creative director.
Oh yes, this is going to be another good day at the office. Ladies, looking beautiful. Spero, looking dapper, man.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too. Spero, you've achieved a lot throughout your career. Where did it all start?
It started as a family thing always. My mother was a designer, my sister was a model, so it's always been around me. I've always had fashion around me. I enjoy it.
Spero made his mark with London's Frank Usher label. Starting his own company, he continued as a freelance designer for them. Living between Joburg and London, he did 4 UK collections a year for 14 years. This kept him in touch with the international market whilst building his own label.
I had to come back to Africa because once you're born in Africa, you're always an African. Doesn't matter what color your skin is, Africa's in your blood. So I came back to South Africa and that's when I started my business.
I've seen your style change throughout the course of the years, but the essence of your designs has remained truly Spero Villioti.
Yeah, the woman who comes to our company and wants our brand definitely wants high glamour, and we're always updating and changing. For example, this collection is based on Studio 54, 1970s. You can see we can go from very cutaway, very sexy, to very sort of red carpet, high glamour, to sophisticated, to covered up, but it's always glamorous.
Let's see what you got, lead the way. Ladies, catch you on the flip side. Spero, you've achieved so much, but you always find time to give back.
Yeah, I think it's very important to give back. That's why we established the Spero Villioti Elite Design Academy, and as head of institution, I feel it's important that these young people in South Africa are taught the correct way of the fashion industry, not only in the construction of a product, but also in the business side of it, so they can understand about marketing and merchandising and branding, culture, textiles, history. We bring in all those elements. So you don't only come here to become a designer. There's lots of avenues that you can go into and specialize in and do exceptionally well in.
2 of the outstanding talents are Neo Rungaka and JUHI MADAREE, who's been the Academy's top student for each of her 3 years.
How has being at the Academy contributed to who you are as a designer?
Well, it's been a wonderful and lovely journey. Quite long, but done now. Had many learning experiences in terms of myself as well, growing. I've learned various leadership qualities as well, developed my fashion skills, as you can see. So if all goes well, hopefully I'll be completing my master's in the near future.
You know, being here actually taught me how to channel my creativity and really push boundaries and learn more things about myself as well and the industry. Being here really shows you how to think out of the box, you know, push rules, you know, and get yourself out there, you know.
Spero, looking at the talent in this room, you must be exceptionally proud.
I am very proud of them. They've gone on to do so well. I mean, we've got students who are designing the bags for Polo. We've got students that have gone for interviews at Vivienne Westwood in London and have gotten the job. And of course, let's not forget the ones locally that have started their own businesses like Ryan Keys, who's been everywhere, showing everywhere, and creating quite a buzz and a name for himself. So yeah, really great.
Graduating top of his class, Ryan Keyes opened his Parkhurst store 2 years ago, bringing an irresistible flair for drama to SA Fashion.
What is it about the Academy that you feel has contributed to where you are now?
Spero was with us every single late night that we worked. He would help us personally on each and every garment that we actually created. From start to finish, he was involved, and I really think that that's exactly why it is such an amazing place. I think that has definitely put me a step above the rest and has definitely made us elite.
So what masterpieces are you working on at the moment?
At the moment, we're working on a new collection called All of Your Love Is Not Forbidden.
Wow, very impressive, ladies. You never cease to amaze us this whole day, looking beautiful. Ryan, this is absolutely exquisite.
Each and every garment is very, very different. So the two girls that are in the black latex and fully beaded, hand beaded skirts, both of those were from my collection from when I was at Spero Villioti. Beautiful the way it clings to the body. I mean, the texture of it and everything like that. And then also just a basic jewel skirt, and then also a silk chiffon, like ruffled skirt to the other one.
What I want from my students is one day for them to have their brand launched internationally so that I could walk into a store in Paris and see a student's collection there, or to become the fashion editor for the next Vogue Africa. That would be a highlight for me, that I was involved in educating this person to achieve their goals and dreams.
Well, I've had a really great time with you all today, but according to Spero, I'm a little bit underdressed. Lucky for me, I've got the girls to make me look good. Ladies, shall we? I even have two holding it to my arm.
To stand a chance of winning a designer matric dance dress from Spero, visit our online platforms, Facebook, Twitter, or topbilling.com, and let us know where you've spotted the top hat. So keep watching for your chance to win.
Coming up, Norwegian knockout Marie Hansen has modelled around the world. But when it came to her wedding dress, she chose a South African designer.
In our wedding this week, the bride is Norwegian, the matchmaker's American. The groom is French-Mauritian, but he grew up in Seychelles and then later in Durban. The couple live in Cape Town and they'll honeymoon in Bali, Indonesia. If ever you wanted proof that we live in a global village, this is it.
23-year-old Marie is a former Junior Olympics handball player who was scouted as a model at 17. She's already lived in London, the US, Turkey and Japan. Luke, 27, models part-time and works as a financial analyst.
How did you meet Marie?
Well, she was down here modeling. She's from Norway, and we met at a mutual friend's house. And I looked at her. She didn't look at me too much, so I had to work a bit of the magic. And 3 years later, she's still here, and we're getting married. So I think everything worked out.
I can see why you proposed. Speaking of which, how did you?
At Kirstenbosch, she had no idea it was coming. I think her first word was no, but yeah, it ended up being yes, and she was extremely happy, pulling lots of faces, but it was great.
Gone for an untraditional look and chosen a navy blue suit.
I always wear black, so I thought it'd be a bit different and I'd rather stand out from my groomsmen out here. Navy blue is something that I think is underused, and I think that people should use it a lot more. Also, I paired it with the accessories, but more keep it to the rustic feel, you know, that type of thing. So, yeah, going with the theme of the wedding.
A designer's dream, Marie had a super busy international career, but jumped at the opportunity of working in Cape Town. Wooed by Luke, she's also been won over by local fashion.
Marie, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what I love is that with all your traveling, you've worn and seen every dress possible, and you've gone with the local designer, Jacques.
You don't need to travel far to find the best people. This is literally, it's the opposite of initially what I envisioned, but it's a dream come true.
Jacques was invited to show his haute couture in the Russian capital last spring, and Marie chose two of his handmade masterpieces.
This was from our new collection that we launched in Moscow in September. So it's actually a metallic brocade, and it's kind of a full flare, and just to bring out the fun side of Marie, we added pockets on the side. So yeah, it's actually a very laid back but beautiful over the top dress at the same time.
Luke said he had to work to win your heart, so it wasn't love at first sight for you. In the beginning when I saw him, I was like, he's alright, this good-looking, quite arrogant guy. I don't know if he's my type. And then we spent quite a lot of time together, and slowly but surely we ended up just matching, and we actually became best friends before anything else, which I think is the most important thing, that we're actually best friends, we're mates. Like, we can play around and be funny, but at the end of the day, we love each other, and we're boyfriend, girlfriend, soon to be husband and wife.
What Marie adores about Luke is that he brings out the best in her, challenges her so she can grow, compliments achievements, and is unafraid to show his feelings. As for the groom, nobody can make him laugh quite like his bride. She is easygoing and they have fun together, especially at their wedding.
Yeah, I do.
It's telling that once Luke and Marie met, they spent every day together for a month. Now they get to spend the rest of their lives together.
Gareth, how was it seeing two good friends of yours tie the knot?
It was good. I mean, I've known them for a long time, since they've been together from the start. So, I knew that they were always going to probably get married, but it's good to see it officially, I guess, yeah.
Mariana, how beautiful did the bride look?
It's amazing, oh my word. I'm so happy to be here and sharing this moment with this beautiful couple. I met them about 3 years ago with my boyfriend, and we became good friends. And it's a very special day in a stunning wine farm. And I cried so much, guys, when she walked down the aisle. It was stunning.
When it came to choosing a wedding planner, they were already great friends with Jade Allen.
So as part of the elegant rustic theme, we thought it would be lovely to integrate a juxtaposition of wooden organic materials with the white elegant silvers and crystals and glassware. This is also pulled through in the exquisite chandeliers that we have and the hanging naked bulbs. We've chosen to play with the depth and the light, warm light, cooler light, kind of creating a nice ambiance with the play on light, and then bouncing that off the flowers and details that we've got integrated throughout the venue.
For a bride and groom who look good without ever having to try too hard, their cake was decorated in an unassuming country style by Hunley Jones.
Hunley, this cake perfectly complements its surroundings.
They wanted something rustic and elegantly bohemian. And because they're European, they like not sweet cake, so they requested an almond cake with raspberry filling and buttercream. And then the bottom tier is chocolate cake with vanilla pot cream. So it's something sweet and something not so sweet for all the guests.
Adding to the wedding's global flavor, the couple's photographer was Romy Maxime, who lives and works between Germany and South Africa. As for Marie, since living here, her circle now includes all of Luke's family and friends. They've done several trips back to her seaside hometown of Kristiansand in Norway. 2 Christmases were spent in Durban with his family, 1 in Norway with hers. And friends and family are clearly very important.
What is your favorite memory of the couple?
Geez, it must be probably Marie's birthday. That was this year as well. It was so amazing. It was just us and Luke and Marie and my girlfriend at a game farm, and we had a little party, just the 4 of us out in the bush. It was amazing. Such a great memory.
As the mother of the bride, do you have any advice for the newlyweds?
Yes, I do. I tell them there will be bumps in the road, but you have to talk through them. Love each other and talk, and you'll be lovers and best friends forever.
What makes your son and Marie such a great couple?
They really started off as, I don't really like this guy, I don't know if I can be with this girl. And it just grew and grew and grew. It's the same as my wife and I. We've been married for 33 years. And I just hope that this is a foundation for them for the future. I think you have to be friends. You have to be friends from the beginning. And they are friends, yeah.
In case anyone had forgotten why the bride is such a sought-after model, this was a reminder.
Marie, you bring this dress to life. You look out of this world.
It is a dream come true. It's literally the whole oriental style with the orchids, with the buttons. I need to show you guys the buttons. It took me 30 minutes to get it on, but it is a dream. It's my dream dress. It is, I'm lost of words right now. It is all I've ever wanted. It's like a little girl dream. I'm standing here with my husband. It is just, I'm very, very happy at the moment. It's incredible.
So I take it the wedding's been everything you've hoped for?
Like that moment when she was just walking down the aisle and, you know, there's happy tears that everyone talks about was just so real, and yeah, you know, cracking at the voice, even to think about it, was just the most amazing feeling ever. One of the best days of our lives, for sure. For sure.
When you walk down the aisle and you see, first I saw him, it was difficult to keep a straight face, but then you have a little look out in the crowd and you actually see every single person that's there. You love them. It's really, I think you have to experience it to know what to say.
Well, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. LENFERNA de la Motte.
Well done, you did it right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Life is good, and they acknowledge this with gratitude and a commitment not to waste 1 second of it.
When Luke and Marie do have children, and they certainly plan to, they're going to be some good-looking kids.
Next up, how Richard Branson played his part in the hip-hop career of Gigi Lamayne, and world champion Aude Lemordant pushes the G's.
If there's one art form that's had the greatest influence on fashion, even since the 80s, it's hip-hop. A culture as much as a style of music. It has an unrivaled ability to reinvent itself, as it has in the work of 4-time SA hip-hop award-winning artist Gigi Lamayne.
You find me cooking rhymes in the kitchen. Stew type of vibe, you don't know what you missing. Hey,
the child of a nurse and single mum, Gigi rewarded her mother Sarah Manny's faith in her when the single Ice Cream charted on radio stations across the country.
Oh yes,
How are
that's
you?
what I'm talking about. I'm good. How are you? That was good.
Okay, don't do that.
Not that?
No.
Okay, clearly shows that I'm not a cool kid.
Yeah, no, don't.
That was dope, man. That was really good.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna get the obvious out of the way. With a name like Genesis Gabriella Tina Manny, your mother knew you were gonna be a rapper at a young age, and a good one at that.
I mean, my mom's always been my inspiration, you know. She's definitely one of the people that's pushed me this far. And the obvious is that Gigi Lemayne was from the Genesis Gabriella Tina Manny, the G from Genesis, the G from Gabriella, LA from the Gabriella pod, and Manny my surname, then Gigi Lemayne.
When did you realize that music was something that you were good at and that it was something that you wanted to pursue?
I guess it was fate. I was in grade 5. We were sent home to write poems about Valentine's Day. And we got back the next day and my poem was really good, according to my English teacher. She called my mom in and she was like, yo, I think she's really got a gift. Do you think we could sort of like nurture this poem writing thing? And my mom did. And 11 and 12, I had my first poems published at the Poetry Institute of Africa, Valentine's Day and Mother of Us All. And at 16, I decided to do the rap thing because it was cool. So.
How did you know that your knack for poetry was going to translate into your sound today?
I've become a stronger writer because of it, and I mean, writing from the age of 11 and now I'm 21, that obviously means that there's a whole lot of experience that goes into it, and I can pay attention to my content and the context in which I write. So I mean, not many people have been lucky or fortunate enough to go into poetry first, but that's definitely enhanced my abilities to rap and my songwriting skills as well.
I'm paving the way for these talented girls, buying their roses and rocking their pearls. We turn up the rhythm and break all the rules, running the fastest and top of the school.
When exactly was it that you figured out that music was something you wanted to pursue?
Yo, I think when I was 16, I went on a scholarship program with Richard Branson. So basically what happens is he takes 5 scholars from South Africa, you go and study at one of the most prestigious schools in the UK, Stowe School. And from there I was just listening to a whole lot of music. There were some kids at the time who were at the school who were sort of like a minority, but they'd listen to a whole lot of hip hop. And I mean, from there, obviously things caught on, you know, the hip-hop culture in the UK was definitely different from here because at the time it was booming, and for some reason I decided that I wanted to be one of the proliferators of hip-hop in the South African industry. So when I came back, I really started entering competitions, I started going to talent shows, and it just became really easy for me. So I just, yeah, that was when the calling had really started, you know, writing behind your textbook, writing all these verses while you should be concentrating in class. So yeah, I think around about that time.
Gigi came top of her media studies class at WITS and graduated with a BA degree in media and anthropology, amongst other accolades.
You won countless awards at such a young age. Did you expect such a positive feedback from the public?
No, in actual fact, no. I've won Best Female at the South African Hip Hop Awards in 2013 and 2014. I was hoping to win Best Collaboration last year, but I didn't. Being recognized as a female in such a male-dominated industry is something really big for me. I hope to get to a point where I can compete with my male counterparts and hopefully win in the categories like Song of the Year and, you know, outside of the Best Female box. But I have won Best Newcomer before. And it's nice to see people supporting outside of the gender stereotypes. And it's nice to see women coming into the forefront. In hip-hop for so long, we've just been the models in the videos, looking nice. And I really hope to be that voice for females who do listen to hip-hop and who do want somebody to look up to and somebody to relate to. So for me, it's definitely been the supporters that have also put me on, and shout out to them.
You are multi-talented. You are a rapper, you're an academic, you're an athlete. A lot of people don't know that you're an actress.
Wow, I don't know.
I think we can do a little bit of an improv.
Really?
Okay, hook me up, hook me up.
Okay.
Yo, Here we go again, my friend. Another story to tell, another heart to win. Catch a brother who fell into the system within the house that we're housing. What am I saying? The spit is flying out of my mouth and...
No.
Okay, I think that... Okay, let's leave it to the pros.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'll hit you with the beat.
Okay. Yo. No matter how hard you spit, all the hype that you get can't resemble the gist of a male manner. Let's go, look like I ain't giving a hoot, but I ain't paying for no favors in my big soup. A female can never get to top. Yeah! No, beatboxing, sledge.
Is it my thing?
That's your thing.
Do you think I can quit my day job?
Yeah, no, definitely. That, yeah. Nice.
You have to be some caliber of woman to carry off a name like Gigi Lamayne, or to pull off the kind of stunts that made pilot Aude Lemordant a multiple world aerobatic champion. Since Aude spent so much time in her flight suit, designer Haroon Hansrot decided she was in need of some aviators haute couture.
The four-time French champion was here for Durban's Sky Grand Prix of Aerobatics. Zulu and English commentary at the show catered to a broad fan base, which includes designer Haroon Hansrot. Aviation clearly brings out his creativity.
Haroon, I'm about to do the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, and I see you are the man to make sure I look good while doing it. It looks incredible.
I just thought if you're going to do it, you might as well do it in style.
You've made a name for yourself on the fashion ramps, particularly with gowns. So what inspired you to make a pilot's jacket?
I think the event being a Durban event, and proudly Durban, I decided to bring all the elements of Durban into it. Durban is known as the Miami of South Africa, so I brought all the colors and vibrancy of Miami. The Art Deco buildings also came into play, and the most important thing, I think, I was quite intrigued by the female pilots, and I thought a male-dominated world, airplanes, pilots, so I took the silhouette of a basic bomber jacket and injected some beautiful, soft, feminine touches to it.
Even the inside colors are popping.
Oh, the inside is actually Durban by night. It's much more exotic. Durban is actually an eclectic mix of cultures and colors, and I thought, why not bring it out in the shades on the inside of the jacket? The jacket is completely reversible, so it could be used day going into an afternoon or completely night.
Born in the French city of Grenoble, Aude Lemordant is a long-haul passenger jet pilot who came across aerobatics during her training.
Aude, you're so beautiful and petite. How do people react when they find out that you're not only a pilot in a male-dominated industry, but you're also the reigning world aerobatics champion?
Well, people are really surprised at first, but I guess they start to know me now, and so I'm Aude basically, and I'm a pilot, and that's it.
When did you know you wanted to be a pilot, and at what age did you have your first flight?
Well, I actually started flying, I was 14 on gliders, which is airplanes but without an engine. And it was really the first time I could see the earth from above, and it was just beautiful.
What is the transition like from airline pilot to aerobatics, and how different are the two disciplines?
Well, I started flying, like learning how to fly. I was very young, Then I thought, well, airline flying would be like the best office I could find in the world, and seeing the sun every day I'm going to work. And then I started aerobatics as well, and it's just something completely different. Aerobatic for me is like a sport, it's a way of flying, and then flying Boeing 777, something completely different, that's my job.
What is it about competing that you enjoy?
Competing is being against the best pilots in the world, and just being to different places and just do your best. And everything's going so fast in an aircraft, you know, you just go for it.
What happens to a person's body when they're in the air and they experience G-force?
Well, you have positive and negative Gs. Well, positive is like your blood going down your feet, and negative is like your blood is going up your head. And if you're having like 6 positive Gs, which means you're going to weigh 6 times your actual weight, then you need to really, I wouldn't say hold your breath, but really tighten your abdominals, and so you can feel better.
So you have to be super fit?
Well, yeah, it's better actually. But anyone can do it. If you want to know what aerobatics is, the best way is to try it. Then so let's go and have a flight together.
Well, as long as I'm with you, I feel safe.
Aude finds her day job and sport complementary. The obvious difference between taking Jade for a flip or piloting a flight of 300 to 400 passengers aboard the world's largest twin jet is that a Boeing 777 can't do this. Aude is the only female pilot on her famous aerobatics team. What allows her plane to carry off these stunts is its power-to-weight ratio. Considerably lighter than other similar-sized aircraft, it has around 320 horsepower and a propeller that gives it more thrust at lower airspeed. Knowing her aircraft can pull 10 Gs also gives Aude the confidence to take her aerobatic routines to the edge and back.
Oh, thank you so much for that incredible experience. Seeing the world upside down was unreal.
Well, it was a pleasure flying with you.
Aude was taking on the best aerobatics pilots in the world from Russia, America and Europe. Best she did it in style.
Before you fly off, your story really inspired a local designer, Vuuren, so he made this bomber jacket just for you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure hanging around with you, Kate. And could you please thank the designer for me?
Absolutely, and good luck for your contest.
All right, thank you.
Competing against the top male pilots, Aude finished second in the unknown sequence, where maneuvers are only revealed to pilots the evening before. In the freestyle event, she was just beaten by the current world freestyle champion. As for viewers' favorites, she stole the show.
Well done, Vuuren. Now, when Aude is flying through the skies, she's dressed to the nines. Cloud 9.
Still to come, it's the Karma Billiard Show as this remarkable striker scores a triple at the 2016 PSL Awards.
If you want to know where you stand in the League of South African Footballers, then the PSL Awards are it. With such exciting players in the Premier Soccer League with so much promise, we were there to see who's the finest in the beautiful game.
Officially billed as the PSL Awards, with one team dominating to such an extent, this year they could have called it the Sundowns FC Awards. That said, Mpumalanga Black Aces had reason to celebrate too, as their man took Young Player of the Season.
And the winner is Aubrey Maposa Mudiba.
Aubrey, you've just won Young Player of the Season. Congratulations.
Actually, it's a dream come true. I used to watch the awards on TV. Right now here I am sitting with them on the same table and winning an award. Yeah, it's a dream come true for me.
The winner for the top goal scorer is Tabiso Kutumela.
In the National First Division, FC Baroka's Tabiso could not be stopped.
Just won Goal Scorer of the Year. How are you feeling?
I feel excited because it's all about hard work, believing in God, praying hard, teammates like behind me, supporting me, technical team. My boss is always there, my coach, they're like my father at me. But I'm so excited, yeah.
Winner is Ben Mochwari, Ben West.
Ben, what kind of focus is needed to scoring the goal of the season?
You know, it all comes up, you know, at training, you know, what we do on training pays off at the training grounds, you know. At the games, you know, we work hard on our shooting as midfielders, you know, have to score these type of goals, you know, not every game, but, you know, some of the games, and these type of goals, you know, they decide the game for our team.
Goalkeeper of the season, Dennis Onyango, Mamelodi Sundowns.
And the knockout player of the tournament is Thabo Ntete.
And the best defender of the season is Thabo Ntete.
Absolutely amazing defender of the season. Your second award of the night. You must be elated, excited, and I'm sure you don't even know what to say.
I'm over the moon. I'm very excited, and you know, I'm happy. I'm happy to be part of Mamelodi Sundowns. So I'm quite excited.
Player of the season, and in world football, this is one of the most prestigious. Kama Billiard.
And the midfielder of the season is Kama Billiard.
The outstanding player of the PSL 2015-16. And the winner is Kama Billiard!
Kama, huge congratulations. You've just won 3 of the top awards this evening. What does it take to be South Africa's best?
I think hard work, dedication, and being around good players. Like I'm around good players, so they make it easier for me to enjoy the game most of the time.
Coach of the Season award.
Led by this fine coach, Sundowns didn't drop a gear all season. 3 of his players were up against each other for Footballer of the Season, Players Player, and Best Midfielder.
The boys won 5 this season. What made the difference?
No, they worked hard. They scored goals. We played together, united. We fought together. That's why everybody scored. You know, beautiful. But we have talent, and we pushed a little bit harder, and we raised the bar. And that's it. So we set 71 points. If anybody can match that, go get the flag of Sundowns. You know where it is, on top of Kilimanjaro.
Chiefs were gracious in defeat, but resolved.
I know your blood is golden black, but I know the Mamelodi boys kind of took it home this evening. Your thoughts around that?
No, I think they did a great job this season, and it was their season to win. For us, I think we learned many lessons, a night of reflection, made it to 2 finals, many lessons for us. But congratulations to them. I think a wonderful, wonderful evening for them.
So do you think next season you guys are going to be dominating?
Watch this space.
I love that.
Kosi for life.
Sundowns gave Chiefs, Pirates and Wits a lesson this year, and competition is always a good thing.
That's our show for this Thursday. Thank you for joining us and for all tonight's fantastic tweets and posts on which young South Africans most inspire you. If you write it, we read it. Until next Thursday, good night everyone, and God bless.
Did you spot tonight's top hat? To stand a chance of winning a matric dance stunner from Spero Villioti, check out our Facebook and Twitter pages or log on to topbilling.com for the winner design address competition post. Reply to that post and let us know where you've spotted the top hat. Next Thursday, we'll be back with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Game of Thrones star The Mountain.